Hello everyone and welcome to another E3 review, presentation, something another. I still haven't come up with a name for this. They're doing this thing. They'll probably be somewhere. They'll probably just be in the title for all I know. But it's going to be a review, reaction, thoughts, opinions, so on and so forth. I am joined by the lovely gentleman himself again, Morph Shuffle. Say hello, good sir.
Hello everybody.
And you make sure that you're checking out his channel because he has PC centric like me, so hence we were both very excited for this PC gaming show as usual. Now it does seem to have stepped into the EA slot that they normally have because we know EA went first. And well, depending what videos I put out first, probably you've got the EA one, I think, unless you're coming here from this one first. And then the EA one, we weren't too, don't know.
I wasn't wowed.
Wasn't wowed, like we like what we saw. And we're excited about a few things, but it just wasn't great and was too much waffling. Now, the thing I did find about the PC gaming show is they did start out very, very strong. We'll get to that in a moment. Overall, the overall show, it seemed to be good and bad. Like, sometimes they were just showing a few indies, and it was like, here's a quick snapshot, and you were like, what just happened?
Yeah, you saw what was going on.
And they did kind of run into, and obviously I don't know when their timing was, but they ran into a bit of Ubisoft and Morph had to leave slightly towards the end, so I'll be discussing a little bit more of that at the end. I've showed him a few things of what's missed, and he knows kind of the gist of things.
Yeah.
And it did seem to be, they were talking about some of the tech and stuff, and there was a lot of gameplay, I must admit. There was a lot of gameplay, it did feel a lot better, and it does seem like PC gaming shows a lot more, I don't know, laid back.
Oh yeah, the host of that guy was, whoever that guy was.
You don't know Day 9?
I don't pay attention to him.
Oh dear, oh dear.
He's very half-assed.
He's
that's probably why
a streamer, broadcaster.
Yeah, that's
thing.
probably why I don't pay attention to him, because he's half-assed.
Yeah, it was good, but I just felt like comparing it to say Microsoft or Sony, but they're obviously big companies, so they're going to have a very flashy, very well put together type thing. Ubisoft as well. There was just sometimes it felt a little bit, I don't know, too much. They could have snapped out like about half of things at times, and you were just like, right. But first of all, how did you feel about that? Do you agree with me? You feel like you might want to add something to that?
Well, that whole thing, or what we saw first?
The whole thing. And
the whole thing. I don't really know. It was good, but it felt like it was like rammed. Like, if you don't know, like, there was some bits where it's just you had too much information to process at once, and you're like, what has just happened? Where am I? That whole show, Ubisoft, EA, everything, the flashness of EA's wasn't great. The flashness of PC Gamer was better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was some great reveals that people knew that was coming. The first one they did start out with, which both me and Morph Shuffle are extremely excited for, is Dawn of War 3.
Oh yes.
They came straight out and it's like, we're just going to show it, it's here, here's Dawn of War 3. Now, part of me almost feels, though, that although it did go in, there were some pretty big things throughout there, but you would have like one big thing that would kind of calm down for too long, and then it'd be a little big one thing, and then, okay.
Yeah, well, you don't want to overstimulate us PC geeks, because if you do, then this is going to be bad.
But there was the first Dawn of War 3, like, true gameplay, and they did say this is sort of very early alpha, and you could tell slightly because it was a wee bit stuttery, and it's never really been like that, and plus it's not coming out, they didn't give it a release date, but they did say it's, due next year, and it's sort of alpha, they've got the models in there, they've got the graphics in there, they just need to optimize it, and anybody who knows Relic knows that that's not going to be a bad case. They've always been pretty good developers. I've never really had any issue with any games I've played with them.
I can't think of a bad Relic game.
That's always a saying that people say about Relic. They can never think of a bad Relic game. It's just that they're a premium developer.
No, I think Relic might have a sister company that any bad games that come out, they give it to them.
It's just like, you're going to publish that one.
Yeah, you take that one. We won't take any credit.
Now, someone did, because obviously I've seen some notes from people commenting, someone did mention, they were just like, seems a little bit MOBA, and I was like, where are you getting the MOBA from? They're taking 1 and 2 and kind of putting it together, and it's like, you can summon in units, you've got abilities, of course, because you've always really had abilities, it just kind of upped the ante. It's like you've dialed it up to 11, and I get there was this, like, they were showing army versus army, but that was what Dawn of War 1 and 2 were always like.
Dawn of War 1 was you build a massive army, you Zerg rush.
Yeah.
Dawn of War 2 was you get the small army, you level them up. That was the one thing I didn't like about Dawn of War 2. Was the fact it was a small army.
Yeah, it does seem like they've kind of like you've got elite units and then you've got your army and everything. And obviously they're going to be showing more over the coming months. So they're going to be showing how the single player is properly put together and everything. But I'm excited because it's been a long time since Dawn of War, and I'm a big RTS fan. And Dawn of War 1 and 2, I've spent millions of hours playing them too.
Oh yeah, I lost track of how many hours I put into it. This was before the time where I had Steam to track it for me. I lost so many hours to that game. But the new one just looks so sleek. It looks like the models look awesome.
Yeah, they've definitely upped that one. I mean, I do remember when I was partaking in Dawn of War 2 tournaments through Relic and everything. Didn't really get that far. We usually get smooshed in like the second round because people are ridiculously freaking good at that game.
If that's the excuse you want to go with, then that is fine.
You hush you. I will crush you.
Really? You didn't get past round 2. Do you really want to go there? Come on.
Alright, so is it Dawn of War 2, me and you, 1v1?
Yeah, what army
I'll put it on the channel.
What army do you want?
I usually go Marines. But they showed the first gameplay. Everybody'd been waiting for. Everybody knew it was coming in. It looks absolutely awesome. It looks like you've got Eldar, Space Marines, Orcs are in there running it, and I believe Chaos is to be.
Chaos aren't in there, like complete from.
Well, the storyline seems to be, to do with the whole warp and chaos and everything. So they're obviously going to be in it.
They have to be. If the Space Marines are involved in it, one way or another, Chaos will show up because they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single Warhammer game where Chaos don't show up even once, or even if they're not referenced once.
They'll be in it. They'll definitely be in it. But it looks amazing, and I can't wait. We both can't wait to get our hands on it because they started out very, very strong with that, and we were rubbing our hands, waiting on that.
Yeah. I want that to come out for sure. I just really fell in love with the Titans.
I know when the Titan came down, I was like, oh,
we get to play with one of them. And then when the orbital bombardment came down, they said, yeah, you can control that. I'm sorry, what? I can control a giant laser that is destroying a planet.
Yeah, the way it works is like the more you move it, the bigger that it gets, but the slower it kind of gets. So it's like the bigger the beam will become, but it'll move really slow, so units will be able to get out of the way. Sort of, it's like you can have more power, but you're not going to be able to move it as fast. So
that's a good thing. Can you imagine if it was like OP?
Yeah, so it's not like OP, but they all have like. We've only seen that. We've not seen like the Elder Commanders one. We've not seen the other commanders' sort of special abilities in that sense, and they'll all have something. But it looks to be pretty damn fantastic, and I'm glad to see it back. I'm glad to see Relic, doing that again, because I was always curious of when Relic was under THQ, and I did know about Dawn of War 3. Like they said, there's early production, but that was years ago, and it was just like, and then Relic was kind of bought by Sega, and Sega was just like, and it was just like, right, they have the rights and stuff because they did make, Total War Warhammer, so
yep.
So they kind of let the rights go with Sega, and they believed it was in good hands because Relic's always done a good job. But it was like, right, okay, so what happens now? Because they've finished probably putting out as much Company Heroes stuff as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm. For now.
Yeah,
I think that's where they kind of moved on to a new version of it. I'm so glad that they brought out a Total War Warhammer, because I wasn't a fan of Total War. I'm not a fan of Company Heroes. Not really a fan of any one of those. But as soon as they brought out Warhammer, I was like, that is the game for me.
Just bear in mind, Creative Assembly makes that, not Relic.
I know. I'm just saying. It's a similar type of game. Similar ideas, similar sort of gameplay-ish, but I prefer that over the other one.
Yeah. So, I did even enjoy it when I did my video on that, so I mean that was one thing. Now I've got some notes here, but some of the notes I don't quite know. We'll head into something before, but what would you like to bring up next?
Wait, what do you mean you don't quite know? And you wrote them down, you're like, why did I write this down?
Yes.
Right. Been a long night.
Yeah, there's been a lot of press conferences to keep up with.
Well, I like the fact that the Space Marines always look badass. They always look like they're mean killing machines. I know they're supposed to be all religious freaks, but because they are, because the Emperor's their god, yada yada yada. But they look badass. That Space Marine that you saw in the press conference,
It's like, hi, Marine. Hi.
yeah, amazing. This was like chainsword. The devastation on that screen that we saw, it was only like little snippets. The fact that you had one of the captains in Terminator armor running towards the enemy, it's just like, don't take them all. I was like, it's fine, I can do it. Don't tell me what to do, I'm fine. But it best have the mass army feel that the first one did, but in a way, the same way that the second one, like you can I could spawn 10 squads of scouts and they all collect XP, and that will level up the scouts that I can then.
Yeah, it does seem like they've got, like, what they're saying, you have your army, but you also have elite units that gain, like, XP, so I don't know. Like, we need to obviously see a bit more.
Yeah, but I would hope that it would be, you could spawn 10 units of scouts, they kill, get all this XP, all that XP goes towards the scout level, and when that goes up, any scouts that you then produce next will be level 2, and they'll have certain perks, yada yada yada.
Guess we'll soon find out.
Yeah.
Next up, they did have some, like, flashes of little indie titles and everything, but the main big thing that they did bring up was Ark.
Yeah.
Ark Survival Evolved. Now, people know that, and they love it on my channel, it seems. There's always a good response from it, which is always quite nice. Now, they did show they announced the Titansaur quite some time ago. That was coming, and it's meant to. It looks like a Bronto, but about 50 stories higher. It's absolutely massive. You can put Fortress on it, but they announced this ages ago, and it was like coming in a future update, and it was like it kept, like, they had updated the game. They updated the game quite a lot. We don't think they sleep. Me and Charlotte Shuffle don't think they sleep, like, at all. But they were just like, right, okay, so what? And then they've announced the next new update that's coming that brings a new biome, which looks absolutely amazing. It was lots of big trees that you can't actually cut down, but it's like you can build sort of tree fortresses and everything going on. But the Titansaur is massive, and there's only going to be a few of them per sort of server. But it's like I saw it, like, it has so much destructive power, as they were saying, and they showed a snippet of it just crushing, like, obviously it was made out of wood, but it just stomped on it once, gone in an instant. It had a couple of Brontos alongside it to just show you size comparison, and I'm pretty sure that Bronto was like a third of its size or something. They were huge.
I just want the floating fortress. That's what I'm going to call him. I'm not going to call him what his name is, but that Titansaur I'm going to call the floating fortress. And I know for a fact, if me, you, and Charlotte Shuffle built on that, we wouldn't build a little den of place to chill. We would build a fortress with flying, no, not even probably a fortress, probably a city on the back of that, and it will have little paddocks, little flying dinosaurs to come join us. And we can do little air raids and everything, and oh my god, it would be amazing.
We shall see where that goes, but they were also saying it's also incredibly difficult to actually tame it.
Oh yeah,
like,
you can't hit it over the head, you can't do the narcotics, whatever.
You have to basically knock it out with ballistas.
Yeah, you gotta build the ballistas.
And when we looked at it, before we started the new season, we looked at the ballista, like, cost to build, like, the actual ballista. It costs thousands of resources, and then it costs thousands of resources to build one bolt.
If you miss with that bolt, you're screwed.
Yeah. It's, imagine, you know how in The Hobbit second film, you know how the one arrow they had?
Yeah.
Or the three, was it how many had? A couple of them?
No, they had one arrow that was the black arrow, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's like that. You won't have many of them. So if you have one of these, you're gonna have to entice the Titansaur to your area. Hopefully not tick it off enough that it will actually pummel your entire base to bits and try and capture it. There's probably someone already will do it in, like, the first day, because they'll have some YouTuber convention or something. I don't know.
Or they're potentially getting all the resources together now, and they're just gonna be like, "Yep, I'm ready. I've got 16 bolts." How many resources have you got? You don't even want to know.
Yeah. I mean, they also said they've got an update coming because they've had like the community, like the modders and everything. They're actually making some of these official mods as well, as the primal survival type thing where you actually get to play as the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I think that's quite cool. Didn't you say you were going to be an ant?
No, you could be an ant.
No, didn't you say you're going to be an ant?
No.
No? You're not going to play an ant?
No.
Why are you not going to play an ant? What's wrong with an ant?
I don't know, but you could go into the actual ant hills and go all the way under the ground and everything.
That's what I think would be awesome, because you only see...
like, you see the entire life cycle of these creatures, like what they actually do when you're not around.
and didn't they say there's a poop button?
Yeah, there's a poop button, but there's always a poop button. There's always a poop button. But like ants, like to go in the ground and then go in where they actually hide out and everything, because I believe, and so does Sherlock as well, that they actually increased the size of the ants a couple of updates ago, because they're actually about 5 times the size of they are and basically half your leg size, and just like completely come out and just chop into you, and you're like, oh wait. But like I'm fairly damn excited about the update, and they do seem to have been constantly improving optimization of art, because it has been getting better and better. I mean, my videos I only record at 30 FPS because it does jump around still at 60 FPS at the moment, but it does seem like the game is actually getting a lot more optimized, because it doesn't drop below that.
Yeah.
It does seem that when me and Sherlock go into the caves though for any particular artifacts to summon the big beasties at the end of the game, it ramps up to 60. It seems to sit at that, not budge, and I don't know if it's something with the rendering engine at the moment or something like that. But it seems to be doing well, and I'm looking forward to the Titanosaur. Are you looking forward to the Titanosaur, sir?
Yeah. I want to knock it out.
Wait, what dinosaur would you play as?
What's the big shark called again?
Megalodon?
Megalodon.
There's something bigger than Megalodon now, by the way, just so you know. Like, it's in the deep part of the ocean, and it's like almost impossible to find, but there is actually...
What, the bit that we won't ever go to?
No, we plan to go, because me and Sherlock are going to build like scuba gear, because you can actually get scuba gear and jump on the Megalodons and go down.
So why would you do that? Why would you go?
Why not?
Why would
the
you
viewers
go?
demand it.
Yeah, but it's like in real life, right? You know deadly things live in that area. Why do you want to go say hello? Why do you want to go cuddle it? Why do you want to go get up in its face?
Because high level Megalodons to swim away fast enough if you encounter them.
No,
You're coming with.
Fantastic.
So, while we're at it, we'll quickly move on though. It's like they actually showed off a pretty intriguing game that I didn't know about. It's called The Surge. And they kind of titled it seemed to be sort of Dark Souls crossed with a sci-fi feel. Like a sci-fi Dark Souls, and it looked really cool.
It does, but I feel like there's quite a few games like it already. You know? Like, I feel... I don't know if it's going to be good. It looks good, but I've got a funny feeling it's going to be one of those games that's hyped up like mad. Everyone's going to go mental for it, and in the first week people are going to go, this is absolutely a waste of time. Like with every Call of Duty
like
ever
you?
made. Oh, wow. You went straight for the jugular, didn't you?
Had to get you back at some point since the start of this video.
What did I get it on you? You were the one that said you couldn't get past round 2. Good man always gets past round 2. Fight to the
But
end.
it does look good. I mean, we didn't see very much of it. We saw some brief gameplay, and it was like, right, so this is coming out, blah 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 blah, and it's like, right, so it's intriguing, you know, it's piqued my interest.
Yeah.
And then it went straight into none other than a very sort of big developer himself. And either love him or hate him, Cliffy B came out to show a little bit more of Lawbreakers. Everybody knows that's his new game, because he has been out of the game industry for quite some time, and then he came back, formed his own studio and all that. And Lawbreakers is, well, there's a lot of these arena shooters sort of coming back, or like fast-paced shooters, really fast-paced shooters. Like we've got Overwatch, which is doing incredibly well. And I think what it needed is a lot of the sort of pedigree type developers going behind type things like this. Because I mean, you had, there was like one from Ubisoft that really didn't do well. You had THQ had one, didn't do well, and it was just like...
Wait, what was the one from Ubisoft?
Can't remember what the one from Ubisoft.
That's probably why, because it didn't do so damn well.
But there was like, there's been a lot like that, and then you've got Overwatch and Lawbreakers, and Cliffy said himself, I don't know if you remember this, he was saying Overwatch is like almost like anime type thing, which I can totally agree with. I can see where he's come from. But
he said they're Street Fighter, he's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does seem like, and I mean, Overwatch is by Blizzard, so you needed they're a fairly pedigree studio themselves, but Lawbreakers I've kind of always wanted to get into, and thank you very much to Sherlock Shuffle for sending me his key, so I'll be able to actually get a video up of that. Although if I do receive one, I'll be giving him the one.
What key was that for again, sorry?
Did you not know during the press conference you can apply for the key?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not too bad, But only problem, we're going back to what you said about Blizzard. He's saying all this about Blizzard. Blizzard's one of those companies that I will openly admit, steals all their ideas off other people. But then again, if you think about it, every company does that. There's not really many original ideas in the world anymore. Everything is a rip-off of something else.
Well, it's like they say, StarCraft is actually technically based very loosely off of Warhammer 40k.
It is, and what was the other
But obviously
one?
something has to inspire something, hence that's why creativity continues the way it is.
Well, I think Warcraft was based off Warhammer, as in Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. That was based off the Warhammer models.
Yeah,
Because if you look at it, the dwarves closely resemble the ones.
yeah, but you can only really do so much with dwarfs and orcs and stuff though.
Nothing wrong with dwarves.
I know, definitely. But Lawbreakers, I mean, I will be, and he did say, you know, stream it, play it, YouTube it, make as many videos as you want. We don't hold
give a
anything
damn.
against it. Just bear in mind it is beta, and the beta is better. As I always say, for any game that I am playing, if it's beta, things can and will change, and there could be bugs. But that is bugs, and gaming is bugs in general at times. They get patched out, or sometimes developers don't give a damn. But it does seem Lawbreakers is PC only. He did sort of mention about like it's free to play but won't be free to play at some point sort of thing. Obviously it's like a not an open beta but like semi-closed beta because you can get in kind of easy.
Yeah.
But I'm almost quite good to like there's a lot of FPS games coming out this year. A lot's come out. Doom I will lead into a point on something that's shortly, but Doom is an incredible FPS game. And it was like it's really, really excellent to see something like that come out again. We have Deus Ex is technically an FPS in a sense, third person 2 FPS.
Yeah. Why not?
Lawbreakers, Overwatch. You've got the new Call of Duty. You've got the new Titanfall. You've got the new Battlefield. There is a lot of very big FPS coming out this year, and I just hope it doesn't saturate the market too bad. Like obviously that's about 7 I've mentioned there, I think.
2016, the year of the FPS.
Whereas, like, I did say 2016 was going to be like the year of RTS. There's been a lot of good RTS this year, though. But it seems FPS and RTS are doing well. Like, some people are saying RTS was a dying brand.
Is it?
Which I hated for. Some people keep saying that. It's like, RTS doesn't really sell well. I was like, well, I'll point you to Relic and Creative Assembly.
Yeah, they can do
Company
pretty
Heroes
damn
has
well.
made a lot of money. Total
Yep.
Wars, they said apparently broke records on the first day, I think it was.
Well, the first one.
Yeah, no, the Total War Warhammer.
Oh, Total War.
Yeah, it broke Total War sales for first day sales or something like that. So it's like they're real-time strategy games. 8-bit armies that I've been playing is like did really, really well for the company.
Yeah.
Ashes of the Singularity has done really well. Like RTS it's just needed something to kind of spur it on a little bit.
And
You
it's
know,
got what it
too
needed.
many developers go, oh, so many games have done badly, ours won't do that well. And now that they've all came back, and it's like you've now got Dawn of War 3 coming out, and you've got a bunch of RTS games coming out next. For instance, Halo Wars is coming out next year.
Yep.
You know, it's like the
I like
RTS
that.
brand is if it's done right, it would do well. You can't just churn out rubbish.
Exactly. You can't polish a turd, basically.
Exactly.
You've got to make the game look good, play good, and be good, because otherwise you'll just fall into that trap where people will buy your game and then shortly take it back. Yeah, it might look like you've done amazing, and then when you realise, oh, all these things will be refunded, you've actually not done that well.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've been playing Meridian, like, Squad 22 as well, but that's, like, another RTS that looks good and everything is made by teeny tiny dev team, which is insane. But, like, Lawbreakers definitely looks good. Cliff B's definitely kept his studio together and picked some high tiers. It looks extremely fast-paced, and there's a lot of sort of... Because he did ask him, like, how he balance it, and he's like, we haven't. We're using the public beta to try and balance it, because we've got a lot of
you guys
ideas.
mess it up, then we'll see how this goes.
And like you know, like I've heard like rumblings of like Overwatch has a few characters that are really off balance right now.
Oh yeah.
Obviously I have not played it. I've not really had a chance, and I've not really had money. Money's been going as well because I'm
feature.
I am saving for a new graphics card at the moment. So, but the like Lawbreakers looked really good, and I'll jump in and see how it is. I'll try out a few different characters, and then when Morph and Charlotte get keys as well, I will be asking them to join me, and we'll be doing some Smash Battle reports because it'll be fun. But that leads me in when I was mentioning Doom there. Is the AMD Big Boss. Big Boss came out again, as they did last year. Show off some new tech. They obviously had the 480X, but they showed off the 470 and 460, which seems to be, they're saying, like, 80% of the market is like the mid tier, because you have the people that have the really powerful graphics, the really low tier, and then most of what Steam is like the middle tier. Like, they play games to a decent amount and everything. Then you have the people that want VR at the best quality possible and buy a 1080, which is overpriced in the UK.
Not that you're bitter. Not that you're bitter.
I'm not really bitter. I just like anybody, like, because I get my channel is quite heavily US, Canada based. So this is how the UK works. Like, they announced that the lovely 1070 was going to be what, $699. Is that correct? Wasn't it?
Like that.
Yeah, $699, right? So everybody's like, right, that's going to come out about 500 here or something along those lines.
Yeah, pretty much. And then
the cheapest one, I believe, is about £640. Now, if you do a conversion of that, that's about $950 odd. We're paying extra $200 odd to $300 on top of our graphics card because NVIDIA is very US based, and we pay like import tax and tax, and it just completely shoots up the price stupidly. Hence, but like AMD's like 480X is meant to be sort of like they're putting it as, premium VR or smooth VR at like a price point available, which is $200, which seems insane. And they do apparently going to have a 480X that has 8 gig on it rather than the 4 gig. Nice. That'll be about $250. Now, obviously, more people are going to be able to access VR because of that, which could be like almost a smooth kick to NVIDIA, because AMD's not showing off their big, massive new flagship, like maybe the 490 or whatever it's going to be. They've shown off stuff that people can easily pick up for themselves if they're building a new PC and have really decent quality gameplay.
Yeah, it's relatively cheap.
The only thing I'm mostly going to get to, though, is I don't like what AMD's done. Is like we had, they were showing off their APU, their new actual processor, graphics on it, yada yada yada, with Doom, and it's like we had it playing Doom. Now, one thing, and I'm going to tip my hat to id Software, is Doom runs incredibly well optimized.
Yes, but you have to get it to that point first.
Yeah, Doom is an extremely well optimized game. Like, it runs well, it looks incredible, and I have it maxed out, and my card just it doesn't swear at it. Although it did.
I can imagine your card swearing. It's like, what are you doing? Stop it.
Yeah, we had a lot of hot weather, remember?
Oh, yeah, we did.
My PC didn't like that weather, apparently.
No, but I found it weird that Scotland had lovely weather, which, by the way, you need to speak in an English accent, apparently. Remember that? Yeah, awkward. You had brilliant sunshine, and we had rain. No. Other way around. Stop it.
Nah, I quite liked our weather.
You didn't, you lied.
Yeah, no.
Why would you lie?
The only thing, like the last 2 days before we had like a big downpour, it was kind of like, it got to that sort of clammy, humid weather though.
Yeah, you experienced that once, we experienced that 2 weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
You got one day, we got our summer, which is 2 weeks. It's already gone, our summer's gone, we know it's gone.
Yeah.
We're accepted.
No, because that's what I didn't like, because like Doom is a really good, powerful, very good looking game, very fast game and everything, so the graphics cards have to work quite well. But the fact is, id Software seems to have actually done really well in optimizing it, because it runs on a very high variety of systems. So showing it that, and I was like, right, okay. And then show Ashes Singularity, which is basically geared towards DirectX 12, which NVIDIA's still trying to work their head around, apparently. It just seemed a bit like, okay, like, wait to show me a really powerful card running something, say, like, try to come up with a game out of bloody XCOM. XCOM is a really badly optimized game.
Assassin's Creed ain't too well.
XCOM actually puts a lot of pressure on the graphics cards for some reason. Like, I had to take mine from 60 down to 30 and like lock it and force it to lock, because otherwise it makes the graphics cards run extremely hot for no apparent reason.
Would you like to warm up your room? No? Well, tough, you're playing XCOM.
Yeah. So it's like maybe showing something that was like a few games rather than saying it ran Doom. It's like, okay, right. So one of the best optimized games this year. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I do think the price point is really good, and the points they made, like, you know, you pay $200, you'll be able to buy a 480X, which is going to run pretty much anything at 1080p, at least at 60 FPS, probably.
Exactly, yeah. I think it'll run, that cheaper one, I think will run quite a fair few games, enough to get a few skeptical people into PC gaming. I think that's their entry.
I mean, you've got the 480X, right? That's $200, so, I mean, the 470 and 460 are going to be priced even cheaper than that. So say if you're in the UK, you'd be paying like £140, you've got a decent quality graphics card there. They did say though that like one of them was kind of geared towards esports.
Yep, because there's a big market for that right now.
I know, but the way they said it, it's like all graphics cards do the same thing. They run a game. I think what they meant is like though, like from what I gather, say something like StarCraft. I know like we would play it in high quality and everything, but see people at events and everything, they actually have the quality of StarCraft turned to the absolute minimum. So there is nothing to stop latency or misclicks.
I didn't know that. I didn't.
We don't
like
see it.
maximum.
We don't see it because we're seeing what the broadcaster's seeing. They're broadcasting in at the highest quality, but the actual players have it down at the absolute minimum.
Oh, okay.
So that there's not I don't know if this is a possible change because it's been known for quite a wee while. So I don't know if that's what their meaning is. Like people who are wanting to do that don't want graphics getting in the way. Like they want it's the gameplay mechanics that are like top of their wanted list sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking is like that might be geared towards. It's not saying that the 460, for instance, is not going to be a good card. Because it is
an amazing card. It's going to be a lovely card.
I mean, those new AMD cards plus the new NVIDIA cards are both using new dies now. So I think the AMD was 14mm and the NVIDIA ones are 60mm, which is a lot less heat, a lot less draw power, and a lot less just like they have more space to put cooling on it and so on and so forth. So there is that because it is a proper leap rather than the iteration. Because I've got a 290, so the 390 is not really different. The 390 was slightly better optimized stuff for it, really. Slightly better cooling, but it wasn't like an actual die reduction or anything like that. So it seems to be good, and I always quite like the way she comes out. She's just like, oh, you got another case for me, do you? You did this exact same last year, and I was just like, oh. And it was just.
Keep the case this time.
I know it was nice to see, but it seems pretty good.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be a good benefit for all gamers.
Yeah, I think it'll be an easy access point. Like I know a lot of people have said, "Oh, AMD and their drivers. See the new Radeon software that is. It's like they knew their drivers weren't doing that. It's particularly great compared to NVIDIA, but they've really ramped up the ante in that, and they've And I do have an AMD card, and I'm thinking of 1070. So someone's probably sitting going, AMD fanboy. But I've just ripped on AMD for something, said a good point, and I've ripped on NVIDIA, said a good point. So you can go away.
You're just a fanboy in general.
You're just a fan. We're PC Master Race.
We are PC Master Race. We're very much the PC Master Race. We are the better ones. The console gamers need to get off their peasant asses and come join us.
So this does seem like it'll be a really easy access point, and then people can obviously upgrade and that, and they'll be drawing less power in a sense as well, which is always a good thing for the electricity bill.
Yeah.
I mean, a few other things though we did probably go on to is they brought out Killing Floor and announced that there was
I'm out on that one.
Yeah, well,
I don't do horror games. Horror games aren't my
forte. It's not a horror game. It's an action game. We're not going into the VR part, but okay, I like cat at the back of the VR part.
That's a no. Okay.
Basically, what they did is showed off Killing Floor, and it has a new update coming to it, which they've actually included some official stuff from modders and everything as well. I believe they said a new boss.
I don't think a new boss. I think there was new mobs. I don't know about a new.
And obviously, you'll be able to play. Obviously, I haven't touched Killing Floor 2 in a wee bit, but you are able to actually play as the sort of higher tiered creatures of death, which is always quite fun. But they did also, was it during the PC gaming conference that they showed the VR part?
Yeah, it was towards the end when it went after I pretty much.
Because it was
left.
called Killing Floor Incursion.
Yeah. They showed a little.
Yeah,
bit.
because they were going. Because obviously there seems to be E3. There is not a big push. There wasn't as big a push as I thought there would be, but they had like all the conferences. Well, maybe not all of them, but the ones that where it mattered or where it should have been, they had a little bit of a segment like, here's VR and what it does, and they had Killing Floor Incursion, which looked absolutely and terrifying. You will, as everybody probably knows, you know how a VR headset probably works. It goes across your face, and they had cameras exploring the game and everything. It was someone just moving their head and everything, and the creatures, the mobs, come right up to your face, and it just no. I'm probably still going to play it when I can afford a VR headset at some point in the next 10 years.
What I want to know is, remember, I think it was last E3 or the E3 before. Remember that guy who would be sat there playing Minecraft? Staring at a wall. We couldn't see anything on the wall, but when they put the special camera on, we could see everything.
Yep.
We could go into the world. I don't see that often. Or really at all.
Yeah, Microsoft. I've only kind of skipped through Microsoft's press conference at the moment, but they didn't seem to have that. They had something to do with Minecraft, but I think it was like a Pocket Edition or something.
Yeah, because the VR's good, but when I saw that last time, I think it was last year, wasn't it?
That was found out to be almost like 50% of it was about fake.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It wasn't as good. It wasn't anywhere near as good as what they basically had it. That was very, very, very staged. But they have opened up. Microsoft has opened up the like Halo Drive. What's it called again? HoloLens. I think it's HoloLens or something. They've opened that up to a lot of developers. Like it's like a completely open plan now. I think so. That could benefit it. Which would be good. But I like Killing Floor Incursion because it looks good quality. It's extremely good quality. Utterly terrifying. But then I think if
utterly terrifying, it's disgusting.
Yeah, if a flesh pounder grabbed me and like smooshed my face, I think I'd be like, nope, that's me, I'm done. It's me done with gaming for a week.
Yeah, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm not playing any game. I'm gonna go play Hello Kitty because I know it's stuff.
Then suddenly Hello Kitty turns horror.
That wouldn't surprise me. I bet you somewhere someone's made a mod for the game where it goes all sweet and lovely and all of a sudden it wants to kill you. Five Nights at Freddy's.
One thing we can go into that you can talk about then is Halo Wars were shown.
Of course, yes, that's known.
Because it is coming to Xbox One and PC, and Creative Assembly is actually helping.
It looks so cool.
Now everybody doesn't know, but Halo Wars, it was back on, was it 360 or it was 360, wasn't it? Like way back, like I think it was 7 years ago or something.
It was very, very old. Amazing game in every way, shape or form.
It ran like I mean picking up and I played it and I was just like, this is weird because you have like your HQ and then you've got like points around your HQ to build buildings. Yeah. You can't just randomly play, and then obviously then you spawn out your units and your tanks and whatever else. But it looked really good. Like the actual quality looks really good.
The humans were the best to play as in that, just because of where everything came out of.
I did go and like because obviously when I watched the Microsoft conference bit, I watched the like trailer they had for it and all the sort of slow mo and the two commanders walking up to each other, and I was just like, that's pretty darn cool intro there. But the actual gameplay looks so much fun, and they said a beta was due like late summer, was it not? Because it's coming out in February next year.
There's still not going to be it's still probably going to be a long time before we see a beta.
Yeah.
It'll be a good beta.
It'll be a good beta. It'll be good. It'll be good. But like that was another sort of good RTS there, and I can't wait for it. And if it's co-op, you know who's playing it.
Me.
Yeah, well, I did mean that. That was such a slow.
Me.
Guys, I'm sorry. It can be a little bit slow at times.
Yeah, so it's been a long day. Been a long day, long week.
I've had a day off at least. But Halo Wars, it was like that. Obviously, guys, just to keep you, because obviously these videos, well, some of the E3 conferences they vary in size, like they always varied in length, sort of when we did them last year. It's just keep in mind that sometimes we are a bit more enthusiastic about some, and sometimes, just in case you're wondering if we don't cover everything, there was just a lot to cover.
We just,
Now, I've got two things sort of left on my little list that I've noted down. Now, please bear in mind that you can probably find on like the PC Gaming YouTube page or something like that, you'll be able to watch the whole conference if you're wondering what else, because there was stuff like Armor was mentioned, there was also new Insurgency, and there was the dev team behind Insurgency had a new game. There was a lot going on in that sense, but they also did happen to run into the Ubisoft press conference, which I was really excited for, and I just was going between them, and it was just like, which one to watch? So I continued to record the PC Gaming one while I watched the Ubisoft one because it started with Just Dance, so I didn't really care. But the...
You're not a fan of Just Dance? No, not for you?
No. Just no. You didn't watch the start of Ubisoft, did you?
No, because
no.
I was away.
When we go record that one, I'm going to just show you a picture of it. I'll show you how it started.
Okay.
But like, they did they showed off a new game mode for Warframe, and I showed you that before we started this video because I'd like to discuss that a little bit further. Sherlock knows about it. Anybody who has followed Sherlock's channel in the past knows he did a sugary ton. Oh my god, words. At Warframe, and this was a new mode which looks like rugby. Or football, or I don't know, dodgeball, I don't know.
No. It's... Right, do you remember Gears of War? Where you go to that stadium and Cole has a flashback?
No.
Okay, right.
I haven't finished Gears of War, by the way.
What episode are you on? What one are you on?
1.
Right? You're way long away from what I'm on about, so even if I say it, you won't bloody remember it, so it's fine.
Well, you can say about it because there's likely people watching this video that know what you're on about.
I'm hoping there's at least one person out there who's played Gears of War 3.
Yeah.
I think it's Gears of War 3. Definitely is.
I'll let you say about it though.
They all go to the stadium where Cole was famous, made his name as the player. Can't remember what the sport was because it weren't rugby, it weren't football, it was something different. Basically, he has a flashback and all the locusts are there and he thinks it's the enemy team. So he's picked up a bomb, which he thinks is a football, or egg, as I like to call it for Americans. It's an egg ball. That's what you play. And he's running around. You get to control him, do all the like dodging, diving, knocking people out, that sort of thing. And there's like a little circle at the end that you've got to get the ball in to win. It's basically that from Gears. To me, that's what it looks like. Or for people who haven't watched it, just imagine Quidditch, but with one hole. And no broomsticks. That's what it is. You just got to run and chuck it in a hole. That's what you got to do. But you get, oh no. Simpsons. Mr. Burns playing, he's acting young again. He's playing with that tall, lanky black guy with the weird scoopy arm thing that they've got on Warframe. It's like squash, but with that, you've got to get it in a hole instead of against the wall. There's so many things that I think that they stole it from. Because it wasn't referenced, it was stolen. Clearly.
Yeah, you probably see some footage hopefully run in the background if I've managed to edit this right. But yeah, there's future editing, people. Future editing happens, it's not on the fly. Future editing, but basically it does, like, it looks good because Warframe has always been because he did say we have Warframe here to show off a new mode, and Warframe's been one of those games that's always sort of sat in the background and it's built itself up, and now it's regarded as one of a pretty damn good PC game, and it's also on PS4 free, and I believe it's on Xbox One. But the new mode looks like it's a bit just a bit fun. I don't know, they didn't really discuss if there would be, or I didn't know if they discussed this, so please keep that in mind. If they said, like, if it would affect your Warframes in any way, like if you got, like, stuff from it, or it was just pure outright just a fun mode that you jump into, have a bit of fun, and that's it. Because you can do the usual, doing your stunts and everything with your Warframes and jump around like you normally do, but there wasn't anything, like, if this would get you parts or money to doing this or blueprints or anything like that. So
it might just be a little bit of fun. It might be
nothing wrong with a bit of fun though.
Yeah, it might not. It might not be anything serious. Like, let's face it, how many games do you know where there's a fair few things that are a little bit silly? Rocket League is one of them. None of that is serious. It's not.
They've added basketball to that.
Yeah. That's not serious in any way, shape, or form.
No,
That'd be serious.
I mean, I might put it up at some point and maybe try and give it a shot of it because I didn't know when it was actually releasing, but they gave that and then they kind of rounded off the PC gaming conference with one big game that I cannot wait for.
Did you say as in you kicked to the table, or as in oh my god, it's amazing?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, right, that's fine. Because it sounded like you went to say a game title and then just stopped.
So they had running in the background while they were discussing this because some of the guys from Eidos Montreal came out and decided to talk a little bit of the Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Now, I cannot wait for that game because it looks amazing. It's always played amazing. The first game made me kind of like, I noticed comments about this. It's like the games always seem to make you think about stuff that's happening around you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Mankind Divided just looks, dialed up to 11. They were showing this off the first level, sort of in the background when they were discussing about it. Talking about some of the tech and how they put it together essentially. Because it was meant to come out, I think it was like last month or something, but it got postponed to like August. Just for the simple fact, and I'd rather Eidos took as much time as they needed to kind of perfect this because they were on a roll with the first one. The first one did extremely well, and then
did it? I don't know.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I know it did. I'm just not a fan.
But then they decided to port across that god awful mobile game. I'm not going to question. It's on my channel. I'm just going to leave it there. While I stare at Pen.
You're not going to question it, yet you've done videos on it.
I did a series on it because I was like, oh, Deus Ex is coming across and everything. I thought nothing else. It's terrible.
Yeah, well, let's face it. Every franchise has got one crap game. Most franchises have.
It wasn't Eidos Montreal that kind of did it. Square had someone else do it, and it was meant to be. I think it was somewhat a small prequel. I mean, it was only, I think, about 3 hours long or something like that, 3-4 hours long. But the characters were okay, but the actual animation and the bugs and everything, it was hellish. But Deus Ex Mankind Divided is done by the actual studio. So I mean, things they've discussed, how the game looks, the different abilities that are available to Jensen, which is a hell of a lot. Obviously they were saying, if you want to play stealthy, because a lot of people wanted to play stealthy and everything, it wasn't that bad, and they brought this sort of definitive edition. But there's a lot more like that, and there's a hell of a lot more abilities. They did actually say, which was weird, because they were like, you'll see the PS4 controls, it's because someone's using a PS4 controller with a PC. And I was like, oh, so that kind of brought in the thing of like, they've actually taken, because there has been like modders and everything, you can get a piece of software for your PS4 controller, but there is actually a lot of PS4 games, or not PS4 games, but games on Steam that actually will run with the PS4 controller.
Same with the Xbox controller, loads of them do. Loads of them do.
You know what I mean?
It's a common thing now. I think most.
No, but I'm saying like see the PS3 controller and that, they didn't work with PC games. You had to like mod it completely to then with software.
Oh really? Yeah, I never had that problem.
Whereas I have an Xbox 360 controller.
Why don't you use it?
I was getting over a point. See what I mean, folks?
I do it to wind him up because I know it's easy.
I'm gonna kill you.
I might call you Jack from now on.
Huh?
You're stuffed in a box. I'm gonna wind you up enough. You pop out. Jack in the Box.
So what's your thoughts sort of on Deus Ex Mankind Divided? Because obviously you said you haven't really played the first one. I highly recommend it because you pick it up really cheap for the definitive one if you can. Yeah, I'm talking cheap as in like a $5.
That's not bad. I will have to wait till the end of the month, of course, but
So what's your thoughts like on it? Or what you've maybe seen of it and everything?
Well, I didn't really get to watch it when it actually happened, but I saw a few things like on the news when I was on my lunch today at work. I was just reading up about some stuff. I don't know if I could get into it. Like, I don't think personally it's a game for me. But I know it will appeal to a massive audience, like monumentally huge audience, and it will just be epic for them as a whole show, whole event. What I saw, everything was awesome. I didn't like Oxygen Not Included, but I just don't like them sort of games. Each of their own.
Yeah, I mean, overall the PC Gaming one did seem to be, it was a lot better than last year because I saw a lot of people just kind of got a bit snoozy. This year did seem to be better, though they've not completely eliminated that aspect. But it was a hell of a lot better this year compared to last year. Obviously, last year being the first year, they've kind of learned from their mistakes in the past. They've adapted and everything. Obviously, could use a bit more tweaking, but then what press conference couldn't use a bit more tweaking.
That's true.
But they definitely did do a lot well. There was a lot of big announcements, a lot of new stuff, a lot of new modes, new games, unannounced games, obviously getting their first showings. And just a ton of great stuff to actually see, and some VR popped in there for good measure.
Yeah, well, it's PC gaming. The VR is going to come in at some point. They've got the VR roller coasters, so why not games as well? It's great.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, this has been the PC Gaming Show press conference review, thoughts, feelings, whatever we wish to call it. I have been joined by Morph Shuffle.
Yep.
You can find his channel by following Morph Shuffle.
Yeah.
And we guys shall see you next time.
Come on.